Hey folks, Sandy from Sandy's Guitars, and like a lot of you who might be watching, I've owned a lot of gear over the years. Like seriously, a ridiculous amount of stuff. If my wife only knew the half of it, I'd be in a lot of trouble. And while I don't regret all the purchases I've made, if I'm being honest, I've wasted a lot of money. So that's where this video comes in. With it being Black Friday and there's going to be sales at Guitar Center, along McQuaid, all the shops online, Amazon, I figure it's a good time to talk about stuff that I personally think is kind of a waste of money in the guitar world. Now, before I really get into it, I realize that for each person, this is highly subjective. And I mean, if you're thinking, if I suggest something that I think is a waste of money, but you disagree, that's okay. Just hear me out and I'll explain my reasoning. Remember, it's your money, spend what you want. These are just my thoughts on it. So, hit the subscribe button and let's get into it. Waste of money number one, boutique pedals. Listen, as guitarists, we're all searching for our tone. We're all trying to find the perfect sound. But I mean, that doesn't mean you have to spend sometimes thousands of dollars on a single effects unit to get it. Okay, there's a point of diminishing return, and that applies to everything, but especially guitar pedals. If you're looking at something and it costs as much as your first car, maybe don't buy that pedal. The fact of the matter is, 10 to 1, you can find something that's a lot more affordable that can make pretty close to the same sound if you know how to use it right. It's a guitar pedal, it's meant to take some abuse. I mean, it's literally something you stomp on. Waste of money number two, artist-owned guitars. So I'm sure many of you have seen stories in the news of guitars being owned by famous guitar players being put up for auction, someone spending outrageous amounts of money on what will no doubt become a collector's piece that's going to sit in a shelf or on a wall of some rich guy's house for all of his friends to look at and admire. Clearly, if the guitar isn't getting played, it was a waste of money. Now here's the kick. I've actually seen some guitars getting bought by famous musicians, but they're actually on the much more affordable side. When I say much more affordable, I'm still talking $5,000 to $10,000, but it's a lot better than some of the ones that you've seen out there. These artist-owned guitars are generally selling for a lot less because, quite frankly, the guitar player just isn't as well known or as well respected or famous as some of the other ones. Here's the truth. No one's going to care that the guitar you bought was owned by the guitarist of some one-hit wonder band in the 90s that everyone kind of knows the song but isn't even entirely sure what the band name is because that's the only song that they did. No one's going to care. Money flushed down the toilet. Waste of money number three, effects pedals with unusual or weird functions. Well, I'll admit, I'm guilty of this one too, okay? Good example, right here. This is my slow reverb pedal. Now don't get me wrong, this pedal actually makes some amazing sounds, but the weird part is the sustain button right here that almost creates it actually adds a sound to the reverb. So it would put your reverb in the tone of whatever note that you're playing or whenever you hit that sustain button. The reason that pedals like this, or maybe the Rainbow Machine, or heck, the Arpanoid, the reason they can be a waste of money is they don't necessarily have that much of a use. Don't get me wrong, they're a lot of fun, and you can mix and match and try it out. And if you're able to write something out of that, fantastic, have at it. But the truth is, in my own personal experience, you buy one of these weird pedals and yeah, it's a toy. You can play with it for a week or so, but after that, you really don't touch it. And to add further insult to injury, these pedals with fairly unusual functions, they're usually a lot more expensive than the other ones too. Same thing with the slow reverb pedal. 99.9% of the time, I'm just using the reverb on my amp or a simple reverb pedal that just adds it in, keeps it simple. Now, a fourth way to waste money on guitar gear. Ridiculously cheap pedals. I know what you're thinking. I just told you not to buy boutique pedals, and now I'm telling you not to buy really cheap ones. Let me explain. Really cheap pedals can be a real waste of money because they can become impulse buys. Take a sale like today, Black Friday, for example. If you go on Amazon, I can promise you there are going to be a ton of pedals on there that have been marked down to like 35, 40 bucks, 10 to 15% less than they usually would be. It becomes really easy just to add to cart, and all of a sudden you got 6 or 7 of these things and you're not entirely sure what to do with them. Problem here is when it becomes an impulse buy and you're not necessarily considering, okay, do I actually need this? Exactly how many overdrives do you actually need? It's also got to be said that a lot of these cheaper pedals are usually clones of other well-known pedals that you may already have in your collection. So you really just might be buying the same thing repeatedly. Next up, ridiculously large guitar amplifiers. Here's the deal, folks. It used to be that in order to actually pump out the sound, pump out the volume that you actually needed for a gig, you needed a huge amplifier. So you see guitar heads with like large 4x4 cabinets, and the bass amps, like some of them, oh my god, they were as tall as the actual guitar player themselves. Thanks to modern technology, you really don't need that. You're gonna see a lot of even like the big guys playing in like stadiums. They're playing through a tube amp with a microphone in front of it that's going into the PA system. And that's if they're using an amplifier at all. More and more guitar players are going digital. I mean, I've had people talk about it on the channel in various Gear Up episodes. More and more guys are going digital. So these huge, large amps, you just don't need them anymore. What's worse is I go on Craigslist and Kijiji, whatever, and people are desperately trying to get rid of them. They're selling for pennies because no one wants them, no one needs them anymore. They're a waste of money. Second last way to waste money on guitar gear: boutique guitar accessories. So the accessory that I'm going to pick on when I'm talking about this one is expensive boutique guitar cables. Don't get me wrong, having a decent guitar cable, it's kind of a necessity, otherwise you're going to be spending a lot of money on cables. So yeah, you don't want to get the bargain bin stuff. I don't disagree. But at the same time, they don't have to be gold plated. There is a point of diminishing return, and people kind of suck you in. I find a lot of stores online, guitar guys, they suck you into this and they put it in your head that you need to buy this stuff to be a real musician. You don't, okay? The Ernie Ball guitar cable that you can buy at the local guitar shop is going to do fine. Don't get caught up in it and just buy the cable and play your guitar. And finally, buying multiples of the same exact guitar. So what inspired this part of it was actually, I have a friend of mine. He loves Les Pauls. The man owns, I think it was like 14 of them. I just don't get it. I don't understand why you would want to spend that amount of money and that much, energy on one specific instrument when you could have a whole bunch of others that are going to give you different sounds. Now, the only time I necessarily think this might be acceptable and kind of makes sense is if you are known for specifically playing a specific guitar. So for example, my main Stratocaster here, and you have a spare just in case that it goes out. So if you're at a gig, you can finish it off. But otherwise, yeah, spending money on multiple copies of the exact same guitar just doesn't make any sense to me. Also, before people start yelling at me that I'm a hypocrite in the comments, this one's actually for sale. Now look, I realize that this list is highly subjective and there's going to be a lot of people who disagree with me, and that's okay. Write about it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you, okay? Do you think there is a reason that you need to have multiple versions of the same guitar, okay? Maybe I'm missing something about the guitar cables. Maybe I'm missing something about boutique pedals. Let me know. I'd love to hear from you. I also want to add that I don't think a piece of gear is a waste of money if you're using it in an artistic way. If you have found a guitar pedal that makes a completely unusual type of effect and a completely different sound, but you've incorporated into your show, your live show, have at it. If it allows you to be more artistic, if it drives your creativity, then it's not a waste of money. Also, at the end of the day, it's your wallet. It truly is none of my business. Spend what you like, okay? I mean, I truly believe if a person's hobbies, it's your own money, do what you wish. As long as your bills are getting paid, as long as you're not harming anybody, then frankly, who cares? And let me know your thoughts. Why don't you tell me what you think is actually a waste of money in the comments? Maybe there's something I missed. I'd love to hear about it. Okay, what do you see guitar players wasting their hard-earned cash on? Anyway, this is Sandy from Sandy's Guitars. As always, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter/X, and I'm on Instagram. Please like and subscribe, share the video, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Take care.